Good boy.
Yes?
Hope you ain't one of them synths here to spy on me.
That big heartbreaker number starts and suddenly you're a damn fountain.
Daisy.
I'm
McGrady.
getting over someone.
I haven't seen
Little
you in a
compassion
while.
over here.
You can get your compassion from the
probably
booze.
have, yeah.
No, how could I stay away from someone as cute as you, Daisy?
Well, you're a lousy liar, but I'll just play stupid and pretend I don't know that. So, what do you need?
I got it, Daisy. I found the cure to Duncan's disease.
Oh my god, that's wonderful news. How'd you do it? Last time you tried, the Ferals almost chewed you to bits.
I didn't do it alone. A friend here got me through MedTech. Now, all I need to do is to get the cure into Duncan's hands. Can you help me?
Of course, McCready. You've saved my behind more than once. It's the least I can do. It's okay. You can trust me. I swear I'll get the cure to Duncan.
Circling back around, what did McCready do to help you out?
Running a business in a town like Goodneighbor is a challenge. Let's just say I've had my share of unfriendly customers, and McCready's been there to help me handle the situation.
If McCready trusts you, then that's good enough for me.
I appreciate that. He's actually not so bad. Once you get to know him. I'll get the sample on the first caravan leaving the Commonwealth. The driver owes me a few favors, and he's reliable. It will arrive at your homestead in no time, McCready.
Thanks. You're a doll.
Hey, do me a favor. Take care of McCready for me. He's one of the good ones.
Sweet Pip-Boy, sister. You hold on to that.
Ruby and sweet, I've got hips that can't be beat. I got eyes.
Hey,
Well, you ready to talk now? I promise it won't take long.
Sure, go ahead.
Appreciate it. I've been waiting for the right moment to talk to you, and I suppose this is as good a time as any. After helping me get Duncan's cure for MedTech, I figured I owe you something. And I always pay my debts. Here. I wanted you to have this. I know a carved toy soldier is a strange reward for risking your life, but this one's special. It means a lot to me.
If it's special to you, then it's a thoughtful gift. Thank you.
You're welcome. Just be sure you don't lose it. My wife Lucy gave this to me right after we met. I told her I was a soldier, and she made it for me. Never could bring myself to tell her the truth. That I was just a hired killer. The soldier story was the best thing I could come up with. Didn't want to lose her because of what I was.
She ever find out the truth?
No. It doesn't really matter anymore. She died a few years back. We made the mistake of holing up in a metro station one night. We didn't know that the place was infested with ferals. They were on her before I could even fire a shot. Ripped her apart right in front of me. There was nothing I could do. Took everything I had to escape with Duncan in my arms. Maybe it would have been better if we died there with her.
Why would you say something like that?
I guess I needed to tell someone how I felt about it. Damn, I miss Lucy. No matter how bad things got, she was always there with a shoulder to lean on. It gave me... well, it gave me the courage I needed to press ahead. To never give up. When she died, I thought that feeling was gone forever. Then I met you. You have the world's problems in your back, and here you are helping me with mine. Lending me your shoulder like Lucy did. I just want you to know how much your friendship means to me.
I appreciate you telling me all of this. I know it's difficult.
It was difficult, but it needed to be said. Anyway, thanks for hearing me out. Taking all that weight off my shoulders makes the journey a little easier, if you know what I mean. Speaking of which, it's about time we got back on the road, don't you think?
You might be the man who's man enough. You might be the man who's man enough.
The bar, like most things in town, is owned by Hancock, a wolf in revolutionary sheep's clothing. How wonderful. Someone new. Is it true you're from one of those balls? I met a few of your kind once before back in D.C. Charming people. Badly dressed, but charming all the same.
You don't like these clothes? Seriously?
Well, I wouldn't be caught dead in them. But lucky for you, I hear you're quite good at staying alive.
Tell me more about Good Neighbor.
If you're thirsty, you can ask the Tin Man for a drink. You'll have less luck finding his heart.
How'd you end up here?
I'm here on business. A man thinks I'm better off dead. I beg to differ. Right now, he's waiting for me in some dusty hideout with a full staff of gunners. I hope to match him gun for goon.
Tell me about yourself. What's your story?
Oh, you don't want to ask that question, darling. When a woman's lived for over 200 years, they've been a great many people. I've been an heiress, a salvager, a mercenary, and a fool. I feel it's far better to be the latter of the four. It makes it easier to relate to the common man.
Anything I can do to help?
Yes, there is. Perhaps you'd be interested in being my personal goon. Or gun, if you prefer. And in exchange, I will be yours. It doesn't matter who plays what role first. Just say the word and I'm right behind you.
Let's go.
Our enemies are as good as dead, darling.
No need to pay. The pleasure is mine until the train is ready to climb again. It's ready to climb again.
Thank you. A little bit faster tempo to keep you smiling and on your toes. I'll be right back.
Oh, shit. We should have followed. I would have had your back.
Hey, if you need something, I'm all over it.
Hey, if nothing else, I'll enjoy hearing WRVR back on the radio. It's certainly better than the current offerings.
Hey there.
By the way, I've marked the location on your map. I'm awful with electronics, so let's hope it was the right place. I'll leave the particulars to your discretion. Better if it's someone who's detached from the situation.
What's this all about?
Well, it used to be about money. Now it's about principle. I own half the combination to a private safe. A fortune our family has been fighting over for centuries. But a month ago, I got a letter inviting me to the Commonwealth from a man who claimed to be my brother. Rather interesting, considering he's dead.
Family? It's important. Are you sure you want this?
Your concern is noted, but I'm afraid you're confusing the word family with people who want me dead. I assure you, the second list is far more inclusive. Long story short, it's a sibling rivalry, except with more violence. Because unlike the Wasteland, some things never get old. On the contrary, they only get worse.
You're back. Let me guess, you found a biographical tome? Or, some kind of colonial diary. That would be even better. Don't keep me in suspense. You have something, right?
There were complications. Here's what I could find.
What do you mean by that? Let me take a look. Which also means that this whole chase was one big waste of time. It's that cherry tree story all over again. I'm gonna need some time to digest this. But here, as promised, your payment. Plus a little something extra. Won't be needing it now that I know it's worthless. Historically, anyway. Okay, so Thomas turned out to be a nobody. But that just gives me appreciation for people like John Zubli. A real hero that shouldn't be forgotten. Did you know the nation used to be divided into 50 states? It wasn't until 1969 that we reorganized into 13 commonwealths. Have you ever seen that statue near Cutler Bend? I think it was one of Thomas. Well, it used to be, before they replaced his head with a hand. I don't know who's restoring that thing, but whoever it is needs to learn a thing or two about historical accuracy. You ever hear of James Armistead? He was a slave turned spy, and another forgotten patriot of the Revolutionary War. In 1787, he finally got his freedom and took on the name Lafayette. That's after Marquis de Lafayette, whom he served under, and the man who granted his freedom.
Hey there.
During the Civil War, Mary Bickerdike spent her entire life caring for wounded soldiers. If I apply just half that willpower to studying history, I'll have done my job. Did you know that Alexander Hamilton had an affair with a married woman and gave her money because he felt sorry for her? True story. Then the husband found out and tried to blackmail him for giving his wife money. Crazy stuff.
Excuse me.
I was named after the great Massachusetts nurse, Clarissa Harlow Barton. Friends called her Clara for short. From the Buffalo Soldiers in the Civil War to the Navajo Code Talkers in World War II, there are lots of instances throughout history of minority and oppressed groups fighting for America. The pirate Blackbeard once held up an entire port, not for gold or treasure, but medicine. His entire crew had syphilis.
We should be careful. Family reunions in my house tend to start with bullets and end with blood. Of course, in between there's arguments, dancing, and champagne. To be honest, I'm not sure which is more dangerous. Well, let's see. It appears this isn't Barnaby at all. In fact, it's my older brother, Arthur. Hard to be sure, given he's a ghoul, but I can tell by the eyes. They're incredibly pretentious. We should search the body for a holotape. The letter said the combination would be on that.
Well, if you're listening to this, Audrey, then I'm dead. If you're wondering how I got Barnaby's number, well, let's just call it magic. After all, I know how much you hate comic books, and mysteries even more so. Knowing how annoyed you must be is a small consolation. As for the inheritance, I am nothing if not a man of my word. My number is 14, and Barnaby's is 82. As far as I know, you already have Antoinette's and Margaret's. I won't ask how you got them. I know Antoinette was always going to be the first to die, and Margaret perished the day she tried to put her brain into that machine. For all her intelligence, it boggles the mind how stupid she could be. Either way, congratulations. You've won. Perhaps it would have been easier if we just shared the world like Father intended, instead of trying to outlive each other through various means. In the end, we outlive society itself. I take comfort in knowing you'll be stuck forever in this awful, decrepit place.
So, that's why he insisted on holotapes. Even in death, Arthur found a way to get the last word. I loved that about him, as much as I despised everything else. But I am sad that he's gone. He was family, after all. Which means the infection I suffered in DC has yet to subside.
Maybe you should find a doctor.
I'm afraid modern medicine can't cure the disease of caring. Well, either that or the Stimpaks I've been using are defective. But I'm long past the days when I saw it as a sin. In any case, we need to find out who killed him and why.
After what happened to my family, I can understand.
Thank you. Although by no means do I want to compare scars. I'd venture mine are hardly worth mentioning compared to yours. At the very least, I'm sure your family spent their days not trying to kill each other, as opposed to 200 years doing the opposite.
What do we do now?
One thing we won't do is give up. If Arthur's dead, that means someone killed him, and that person had to have a motive. Granted, that list might be infinite, so it's best we start at the top.
What do you think happened to him?
If I had to venture a guess, I'd say this is Margaret's work. You can tell by the lasers and dead robots. And if Margaret's really alive, perhaps you'll want to work together. My sister would know this, of course. See if you can't find another clue somewhere. Hopefully with an address and directions.
Heads up.
So, Bobby wants you to meet her in Diamond City. Interesting. They don't have the best reputation when it comes to ghouls.
I found this old photo.
Ah, I know the place in the picture. A pre-war cafe for dilettantes and socialites, and a post-war nightclub for hustlers and scabs. Old enough to feel safe, but new enough to be dangerous. That's my sister for you. One step ahead, with 2 left feet. Well, we shouldn't keep her waiting. Let's go. The atmosphere here is toxic. I trust you'll be careful.
Thinking what I'm thinking?
Hell yeah. We find that operator recon team and put them in the ground.
No, God, what the hell?
You up for a night round tomorrow? Who?
Nothing there now. What do you think?
I don't know. Jump in the shadows.
Yeah, you're probably right. Check down the jet, I guess.
Now don't start talking crazy.
This place isn't easy on the eyes, but it's safe.
Dirty rats. Wait, how to jump?
Here, over there. Psst. Hold. Let's go.
And so here you are. This bar was a nice choice. Maudlin, but nice all the same.
You'd be amazed how little this neighborhood has changed. The bombs may have dropped, but the dirt is still here.
And you were never one to avoid getting your hands dirty. In fact, you're looking much better than Arthur these days.
Looking's not as good as having, honey.
It never is. I suppose the question is whether you want it all for yourself, or if you want to do this together.
I do, actually.
Then it's time you dropped this ruse. After all, you're far too nice to pass for my sister. You, on the other hand, with that disgruntled look, as if the world were too small and you had to slouch to fit inside it. That I recognize.
You're as perceptive as ever, Audrey, and still a huge bitch.
Takes one to know one. Is this a new body? Well, new in the relative sense. I wasn't aware Saints came in vintage models.
Why do you think I chose it? It helps sell the illusion. Not that I needed it. Arthur would never deign to make eye contact with the help.
So, you've been working for him?
Naturally. I let him collect the combination, then waited for my opportunity to take it. After all, our brother would never agree to working together. He'd call it surrendering to Father's idealistic garbage.
He also wouldn't trust either of us not to kill him.
That too. In fact, I believe his favorite saying was, "That isn't water under the bridge."
Yes, I imagine it was something much thicker. And he was right, as it turns out. So, why not do the same to me?
Because I've always liked you, Audrey. I couldn't stand to be around you, but that's not the same thing. And best of all, I know working together would piss our brother off to no end.
All right. But if we're going to work together, my friend here is coming along. She's quite capable.
Still don't trust me, do you? All right, fine. Your friend can come. The two of you can meet me at the old summer estate. It's time to find out once and for all what legacy Father left us.
Hey,
Last
there
time
was
I
a time
took
when
a
the
jet
idea of
before a
friendships
job.
would feel outlandish.
But jitters
But then I
something
met
feels
someone
weird.
in the capital wasteland who taught me to keep an open mind. So perhaps this little soiree is the start of something more.
Hi.
Yes, my dear.
Your thoughts?
A comfort zone is a fine place to vacation, but nothing of substance ever grows there.
Any other advice?
Never lose sight of the fact that we know nothing, and some people less than that.
Any words of wisdom?
The problem with people is, they always seem to be a few steps behind. We'll just have to drink ourselves stupid and hope they catch up.
Any words of wisdom?
I found at my age, the things you used to love often become a chore. Eating, sleeping, loving. No wonder old people are so bitter. They're jealous of who they used to be.
Just curious what you're thinking.
Men are like cigarettes. They can be a pleasure, but they'll kill you in the process.
Your thoughts?
The thing about money is, it gives you an audience. What you're telling them is another matter entirely, however.
It would be nice to know more about you.
Sure, why not? I haven't traveled with anyone since I left DC, so it's nice to have someone to confide in.
What were you doing in the Capital Wasteland?
I was looking for my brother Barnaby. That's where he ostensibly died. On the way, I met a few people in blue jumpsuits. One of them saved my life. The other gave it meaning. But that's a story for another time.
What's it like, you know, being a ghoul?
Well, that mostly depends on what kind of human you were. If you were vain, I imagine it would be full of self-loathing. Me, I'm incredibly vain.
I don't have any more questions. Your thoughts?
In life, always do what you think is best. That way, at least one person in this world will die happy.
Any words of wisdom?
I'm not averse to a little fun. The problem is, the law doesn't always agree on the definition.
Your thoughts?
The comedians of the wasteland always make me laugh. One of these days, I'm going to listen to their jokes.
Any other advice?
There are 3 things I hate in this world. Westerns being one, monsters being the other. And science fiction, I hate that most of all. Somehow I managed to find myself in a world of all 3. I really am a lucky girl.
Just curious what you're thinking.
I'm in the mood for a smoked pine nut risotto, with glazed dates and a touch of jam. But I suppose I'll have to settle for jerky and moot fruit.
Any other advice?
Wherever you are in the wastes, the smell will undoubtedly follow. Instead of raiding file cabinets, we should be dashing them with perfume.
Any other advice?
Never lose sight of the fact that we know nothing. And some people less than that.
Oh, nothing. Hi.
Watch yourself around Audrey. She's not as smart as she sounds. So what have you been up to, sister? Still shooting raiders for kicks?
Yes, but not intentionally. Nowadays, they just force my hand. And you?
Oh, the same old. Forever building the better mousetrap, as you like to call it.
And have you caught many mice with this contraption of yours?
I've caught enough. Watch yourself around Audrey. How did Barnaby die, anyway? Arthur assumed you killed him.
He was dead before I even got the chance. Antoinette, on the other hand, is another story. The truth is, she gave me no choice.
I wouldn't lose any sleep over it. The girl killed herself. We all know she belonged in Parsons. Father just didn't have the heart to commit her.